just going on day trading for a second, especially given I have such a bad history with this, is I think so. What you are saying is for most people who initially almost treat day trading more as a hobby rather than a vehicle for making money, and just put literally your play money. If you lose, but you learn something, you get your daily, dopamine hits or deep introspection, opportunities. And only when you have some kind of track record, maybe consider taking that 5 to maybe 10%.
Absolutely. I think if people, it'll sound weird coming from me, but if people thought of day trading as entertainment, like how much would you spend on a weekend?
Right.
Going to a movie, hanging around with friends, or, all of that, right? If you thought of it like that, and you say that I'm learning also while I'm getting entertained,
right?
You'll not go spend, if you're going out weekend partying, you'll not take 100% of your money. And right, I'm saying it's a good framework to begin your, think of day trading, right?
Yeah.
And over time, as you figure if you're good at it or bad at it, you can then, think of it differently, right? But a good way to start thinking, because if the big problem, I think, with people is that everyone enters thinking they can make money from day one. It's impossible. Like this is capital markets. On the other side of your trade is, someone who's, was maybe, sitting with unlimited money and, unlimited experience.
Most people I talk to, especially younger people, they think, 10% return is for, old people. I think, there is enough, you just, study numbers, look at some charts and figure out, some macro point of view, and you can easily, gun for significant double digit.
Yeah,
I think it's possible unless you're a professional.
Yeah, and I think this is like, when I think about influencers and social media, I think this setting wrong expectation is something that's gone wrong the last 3-4 years. There's one thing I can go back and set right as a person. And this is one of the reasons why I'm also, very actively as a business, personally. Yeah. We keep talking about how it is hard to make money in the markets. Right. It's not a popular thing to do as a stockbroker.
Yeah.
But it's the right thing to do, which is, because if people came with the right expectations, I think the kind of choices they'll make will be more correct.
Right.
So it's really hard. I mean, even to make 10% a year from the stock market
over a long period of time,
it's really hard. It seems so low, because most people who come think they can make 10% a month. I mean, I'm saying it's impossible. I mean, we have, in the last 20-25 years, maybe less than 0.5% would have made more than 10%.
Right.
Trading very actively in the markets. So
I think people who do 15% or more over 20 years, you are among the legendary investors in the world, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So it is, So I think it is. People need to have the right expectations. But I think, like I said earlier, right, when I think about my life as a businessman, my biggest learnings in my life in terms of how I handle emotions, fear, greed, has been from trading.
Right.
If there's one thing I think everyone should attempt, is also to trade.
Right.
Because you learn about finance, money, your emotions better than anything else.
Okay, so how does one start as someone who has never traded in a safe manner with the right guardrails? What let's say I want to start trading now. What should I do over the next 3 months?
Yeah. No, I think first is just deciding what is the capital you'll allocate. Right. And figuring your guardrails, as in to say that, how will I ensure that I will not get carried away?
Yeah.
Right. If it's not going right, how do I ensure that, I don't want to be that hero, and stuff like that. So yes, so like that, so first I think allocating a capital. 2 is, see, the thing about trading is, like a lot of people come and say, Nithin, can you tell me the right strategy to trade and make money in the market? There's nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Knowing that there is nothing. I've done this for 25 years. I have no clue how to trade and make money in the markets. Right. I think I have an idea on the money mistakes that you can avoid while trading.
Yeah.
Right. Which will improve the odds of you doing well in the markets. And those money mistakes are very common. I think we alluded to in the conversation. One was, don't go against the trend. It's very tempting to go against the trend. It's very hard to make money. So if you're someone who's starting off, I think maybe have these 4 or 5 rules.
Yeah.
Saying these are really the basic money mistakes I need to avoid. One is know what is the right amount of capital.
Yeah.
2 is don't go against the trend.
Yeah.
3 is don't leverage. Right. As in 4 is understand what is bet sizing.
Yeah.
Right. Which is the thing about bet size. The problem with most traders is that every trade is of the same size. Right. And every trade shouldn't be of the same size. Yeah. Right. Majority of your trades you should be trading with as little as possible. Right. But every once in a while you will come across a trade where there's more conviction.
Yeah.
you need to trade more.
Right.
As in, because if you keep trading the same amount all the time, the drawdowns will be much larger, right? You'll lose more when the trade doesn't work in your favor.
And what is source of introvert? How do, like, when you're trading and making these bets on a daily basis, how do
you decide what to trade?
Decide, and which direction you want to bet on? Like, can you prepare yourself to get at least some input and some thoughts?
See, I think the easiest thing to get started is technical analysis, right? I mean, it is a lot of hocus pocus, it feels like, right? But I think the good thing about technical analysis is most strategies are very are not counter trend, are with the trend, which is like a moving average, right? As in, every time a stock goes above moving average, you buy it.
Right.
It goes below moving average, you sell it. Right. The bet here is that things trend in life, right? So if it's going up, you're with the trend, etc. So I think a very good starting point is that. But as someone spends more time in the markets, I think you can kind of moving away from technical analysis to start thinking more about economy, more about global news events, more about stuff like if tomorrow is an RBI policy, what could happen to the markets? I mean, those things you can build intuition, etc. over time.
And you have a lot of content to educate people on Zero the Varsity, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, we started this in 2013 and one person has built it. Karthik is just phenomenal that, like a lot of time people ask me how big is the team, I say it's just one guy. And he's probably answered like, 20,000-30,000 queries on that.
So how many hours of content is there on it?
No, it's
text show?
It is text. Okay. So it's like a Quora plus a wiki format.
Got it.
Right? It's I think actually, I don't know why I didn't plug this, so maybe if someone wants to, get started, I think a good point is Varsity, so because we have structured in such a way that there's a flow to it. Like, it starts with someone whom we assume has no understanding of the market.
Right.
And as and when you progress, you introduce fundamental analysis, technical analysis, etc. And I think, this whole section on trading psychology.
Right.
I think eventually, if you were to ask me what differentiate good traders from bad traders, it's just trading psychology. It's just the ability to understand your emotions, how you react, and to make sure you put yourself in a situation where you better, are in the guardrails, right? And I think even like, I keep the analogy I think about is also around health choices also. Like, like, for example, in my house, I stay as far away from the kitchen as much as possible because I know that
lifestyle designed.
Yeah, I mean, in the sense, like, because if I, especially COVID, right? After COVID, my realization is during work from home, if I'm sitting on the dining table, or if I'm very close to the kitchen, my choices are so different because I'll keep picking up something to munch on. But if I'm really far away, it's just a guardrail in itself, right? As in, when I used to be trading, investing, all the things that I thought was long-term investment, they were in physical form.
Yeah.
In the sense, I didn't have any online access to this account, right? Because I knew that if I have an online access to this account, I will maybe get triggered some randomly.